the meeting to order. On behalf of the Planning Commission, I'd like to welcome our residents and viewers to this regular meeting of May 13th, 2025. On tonight's agenda, we have one public hearing and we have 3 discussion items. Before we get into our agenda, we have a housekeeping item, and that would be the minutes from our regular meeting of April 8th, 2025. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Moving into our public hearings. With that then, this is a conditional use permit for CrossFit CALYPSO. The applicant has requested that this application be withdrawn. So with that then, I'd look for a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
With that then, I'd look for a motion to withdraw the conditional use permit for CrossFit CALYPSO. Is there a motion?
Motion to withdraw.
We have a motion for withdrawal. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
All right, we'll move into our discussion items. The first discussion item is a site plan review for a commercial daycare at 4640 Knutsen Drive. And the applicant is Insight Development. And Jared, you're going to take this.
Yes, thank you, Chair, Planning Commission members. The request before you tonight is for a site plan review for proposed construction of a single-level 10,000 square foot commercial daycare to be located at 4640 Knutsen Drive. The applicant is Insight Development. Currently, this property is zoned Spruce Street mixed use with the Spruce Street overlay in the Spruce Street overlay district. Commercial daycares are a permitted use in this district. The 2040 comp plan designates this property for commercial. And currently it is 1.37 acres of vacant land platted as Lot 2, Block 3 of the Vermilion River Crossings development. As the Commission may be aware, back in October of 2024, the same applicant received a front yard setback variance for a proposed building or daycare building be located at this site. I'll get into that more as we move on into the actual site specifics as well. So up here is the site plan and the bulk and density standards proposed. The proposed site plan here on the right meets all of the bulk and density standards besides that front yard setback requirement in the Spruce Street mixed-use zoning district. This requirement is at least 50% of the building front must be within 20 feet of the public right-of-way. This is a variance they got approved for back in October to have 0% of the building front be within 20 feet. There were kind of 2 main reasons for that variance that they requested. Was so they can fit 2 access drives to the north there off Knutsen Drive and ensure, circulation within the parking lot, and to ensure that the playground stays within the back of the building and wouldn't be adjacent to the parking lot or Knutsen Drive. So getting to more specifics of the site plan, there's 3 main components of it. You have Knutsen Drive here to the north. There's 2 access drives on each end of the site. Going directly into the parking lot for circulation. The building itself is set back towards the center of the site, and then you have the playground to the rear, a fenced playground to the rear of the site. So some site details, as I mentioned, there's 2 access points off Knutsen Drive to provide for parking lot circulation. As far as parking goes, City Code requires 1 space per employee on maximum work shift, plus 1 space per 10 children. 22 employees max are proposed with around 150 children. This would require 37 parking spaces. They're proposing 41, so they are exceeding this requirement. They did submit an exterior lighting plan. They're showing 2 exterior or 2 dual mounted light poles proposed for the parking lot on each end over here. The western light on their lighting plan shows a spill light of 1.6 foot candles on the western side property line here. Per our exterior lighting code, on the property line on the west side there, it cannot go over a maximum of 1. So as a condition of approval, we're asking the applicant submit at building permit time that they revise the lighting plan to make sure that they're meeting that threshold. They did provide a landscaping plan. The landscaping plan shows a combination of trees and shrubs to be planted along the exterior property lines, as well within the parking medians, and as well in front of the building. There's roughly a 9,000 square foot fenced playground here located to the south of the building, denoted in this darker gray area. The playground is proposed to be separated in different age groups. There's also a trash enclosure proposed on the southeast corner of the parking lot. The trash closure and the playground, more specific details on the fencing, and then the fencing of the trash enclosure itself will be reviewed at time of building permit, and will staff will, or this is included as a condition of approval to make sure that those requirements are met at that time. And as far as stormwater goes, stormwater runoff will be drained into the existing stormwater pond that is located to the east of the site. Back when this development was first put in, this pond was sized to accommodate any future development on this site. So it's fully adequate to accommodate any runoff from this site. So proposed elevations and exterior materials for the building. The materials are considered of a synthetic stucco, a concrete base, brake metal trim, and asphalt roof. And you'll note it is a single level facility, but on the front exterior they are including some false facade windows to just give that upper level appearance on it, but it's a single story facility. The action requested for you guys tonight is to approve the proposed site plan condition on the following. One is that all necessary building permits are obtained. Two, any sign permits are obtained. Three, satisfaction of any outstanding engineering comments and requirements. Four, final architectural details for the trash enclosure and playground fencing shall be included at the time of building permit submittal. And then lastly, a revised photometrics plan shall be submitted at the time of building permit submittal, showing a spill light maximum of 1 foot candle on the western side property line. And we do have reps from Insight here too, if you have any questions for them.
Thank you, Jared. Well done. There are representatives from the applicant. Mr. Armani, did you have anything to add, or anybody or your staff have anything to add?
Yeah, I have something to add. Thank you, Jared. Thank you guys, everyone, for being here. Jared did mention quite a bit of everything that I was going to say, but I'll keep it brief. So I'm a licensed architect. My name is Cyrus Amani with Insight. I'm also a project manager for them. Insight is a national developer of commercial and industrial real estate throughout the country. I'm on the commercial team, and we have been focused on daycare development the last 4 years or so because we see a growing demand for that in the market. Specifically in the Twin Cities market, this is our 4th development in about 2 years. And as Jared mentioned, we are platted as Lot 2, Block 3 of the Vermilion River Crossing development. Proper address is 4640 Knutsen Drive. We are proposing a roughly 10,000 square foot commercial daycare permitted by right. The site plan has been designed to conform with city standards, except for that variance that was approved in October of 2024. So in summary, we're excited about this project, and we hope to have you guys' support. I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
We appreciate it, Mr. Armani. If you could stay available for questions. This isn't a public hearing. We have several, or at least one person. Do you have any comments regarding this final plat? Okay. Commissioner Teske.
Yeah, I think this looks good, thank you. I just want to say this is it's a growing community, so I think the community will embrace this, and it's welcome to see another daycare option in the community. So great job, and thank you.
Commissioner Winchell.
Do we know the name of the daycare, or is that?
I'm not allowed to disclose that at this time.
All right. Just a question back on the fencing for the playground. Does that fence, it goes all the way around the back part of the playground, does it connect to the building then?
It does not connect to the building, actually it does, yes, it goes all the way around. It's going to be a, kind of like a wrought iron fence, but those details are still in progress.
Where is it gonna connect? I can pull up the site plan
Okay.
here. Is it going all the way out to the front to connect, or is it?
I do not believe it's going all the way up to the front.
I know it's hard to,
It's hard to see.
kind of hard to see, but
Yeah.
there's the gate. Yeah, right at the 2 front corners here. And so it is So there'll be concrete blocks on each side. It'll be completely gated in.
Because I see the gate on the east side there, but I just don't see one on the west side.
There, it's covered up by a dimension, but there will be a gate on both
There's a
sides.
little opening above this dimension by the accessible parking.
Okay.
You can see a little flap.
Sure. Okay, no, other than that, it looks good. Thank you.
Commissioner Snowbeck.
No, it looks good. Thanks for your time. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Commissioner Berg.
The only question I have, and Jared, this is probably more for you, is around traffic, thinking about the flow in and out of the building. That's a pretty busy street at certain times of the day, certainly in the morning. I know I drive by there every morning, and the amount of traffic going to McDonald's and the doctor's office there is, has there been any concern or study around the traffic flow and the in and out? Because there's only one in and out there.
Sure. Engineering and fire have looked at it and signed off on it, so we should be all good to go on that front and no concerns for traffic.
Great. That was my only question. Other than that, looks great.
All right, thank you. You know, I had a similar question of Commissioner Winchell is, you know, and part of this, I know you're a prep company, you know, you kind of do the engineering design and get it ready for the company, our residents, our viewers, you know, they kind of want to say, okay, who is it? I might be interested or I will be interested, but I need to know more. So some of our questions are trying to get at that, so I know you can't release the name. But I suspect you know the timing of the project, upon approval of the city, you know, when you're planning to start and finish?
Yeah, we are anticipating construction, I believe, in August with an 8-month construction duration. So that would put us at about May next year of completing construction, yeah.
So this time next year, the parents could start enrolling their children then possibly?
Yeah, possibly earlier. I'm not exactly sure on the specifics of when to enroll kids, but yes, if all goes to plan, we will be wrapped up, hopefully before May.
And I want to tell you, it's a beautiful building. I think you're going to do a nice job. As Krista mentioned, it's a need that this community has now and will have even more so in the future. Some of my questions are from and I'm not a parent, you can tell, but like the playground, do you know what the base will be? What will the kids be playing on?
Yeah, so we have a synthetic turf surface.
Okay,
And then you can see in the kind of circular portion of the playground is a tricycle path. So that'll be concrete, but most of it is a synthetic turf.
so then for inclement weather days, you have room inside where they're going to be able to get rid of some of their energy?
Yes, correct, we do.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, that's necessary.
yeah,
gotta
I
believe.
totally agree.
And then something that, you know, I know parents may be wondering, will there be, and I suspect you know the company and hopefully you know the background of who you're doing business for. Do you know if they have some sort of educational service plan or what they do for their young children at different ages?
Yeah, they certainly do have a curriculum. You know, I think it's very focused on kind of the high end, getting those kids ready for getting those kids ready for kindergarten and onward in school
Okay.
in their education. So they certainly do have a curriculum that's kind of tailored to what they're trying to do and their morals and their the way they like to tailor their curriculum.
Oh, perfect.
So, yeah.
You know, it's a great looking building. I want to welcome you to this community and the future company that's going to have the name up on the sign. We appreciate it. And I have no other comments or questions other than I fully support this. And with that, then we'll have a recommendation to our city council. And Jared listed 5 contingencies that I agree with. Do you agree with all those contingencies that staff has prepared?
Just to clarify, this would be approved by the planning commission.
Okay.
No recommendation would
All
need to
right,
be needed
sounds
from
good.
council.
We'll take it ourselves then. Do you agree, though, with all the contingencies the staff has recommended?
Yeah, certainly.
You do, okay. With that, then I look for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion for approval of the proposed site plan for a commercial daycare at 4640 Knutsen Drive with the 5 contingencies agreed on from the applicant. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any more discussion? If not, call the roll, please. Yes.
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 All right, before we get into the next one, I'm going to ask, that's it. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Sir, are you with VITA? Okay, and the commission talked briefly about it. You know, I think what we're gonna do, Tony, just because we wanna make sure that, you know, we give opportunity for John to come, is with the commission's permission, do you wanna move to the last discussion item? Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
And we'll see if he shows up. Then this is the a zoning amendment request from Ms. Barb Ackerman, Pilot Knob Properties, 5465 212th Street West.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair, Commission members. Yes, Ms. Barb Ackerman had contacted me about a week or so ago. She's the owner of 5465 212th Street West, so right at the northeast intersection of Pilot Knob Road and County Road 50. The property consists of three separate buildings that she leases to various businesses, one of which is currently vacant. The property is zoned MUCI, which is our mixed-use commercial industrial, which I included all of that entire code in your memo for your reference. Ms. Ackerman does have a prospective tenant that would like to lease space in one of those buildings for specifically auto restoration and collision repair. This type of use would fall under the city zoning definition of major auto repair, which is general repair, rebuilding, reconditioning of engines, motor vehicles, or trailers, including bodywork, framework, welding, and major painting services. Currently, auto repair major is neither a permitted or conditional use within that specific zoning district. To allow that prospective tenant to occupy an existing building at that location, it would require amendment to the zoning district to include that specific use, either as a permitted or conditional use. Do want to note that under the current code provisions, major auto repair is conditionally allowed in 3 zoning districts, those being the B2, which is our downtown business, B3, general business, and our Spruce Street mixed use, which in particular that use must be confined within the interior of a principal building. As the commission may or may not be aware, a handful of years ago, we had a fairly substantial discussion on auto-related businesses, so those being auto sales and auto repair, both major and minor. And through that discussion, it was determined that we would limit where we would place those uses. And the districts that are listed in your memo are what we came upon.
Right.
Just wanted to make you aware that that was a intended change that we made based off of some past uses that had popped up. Wanted to bring this to the commission, get your opinion on it. I did not promise anything to Ms. Ackerman at this point in time, but wanted to have that discussion whether or not the commission felt reasonable to change the code to allow that use. Keep in mind that if we do change and add that use, it not only affects this property, but every other property that's zoned and guided MUCI, so.
Tony was kind. It was a little more than just a small discussion of other sites. I can attest to that, and I'm sure a couple of others can too. Phil, what do you think?
That's a good question. What's there now? Like, what type of business?
One of the building that was up front used to be a tax preparation office building, and then the 2 pole buildings, if you will, have been used mainly for storage.
Is the main building, I think, isn't that where JTN Communications is
I
now?
think they are in
Yeah,
one of
I think
those
they're in the
buildings.
front building,
I believe
which is
so.
Internet providing
Yeah.
service.
You know, and after all the discussion we had on the previous topic, yeah, I guess I would say leave it the way it is. You know, just based on the previous conversations and topic that we had and the problem.
Yep.
Mitch, what do you think?
Did Mr. Ackerman talk about attending today, kind of give some insights on it, or was she unable to attend the meeting?
She, I believe, lives in Arizona. So it's hard for her. I think she was here about a week or so ago for other things. I do believe she's back in Arizona though, so.
Yeah, I mean, changing in the zoning might change a lot of different properties in Farmington, so I hesitate to make a sweeping change for this specific placement of that business. So, yeah, I hesitate to make a big change on that, and I would like to pick her brain a little bit and see where she's coming from. But, yeah, I kind of feel like we should kind of stick with the previous discussions of what you guys had, because there's purpose behind that. So that's all I have.
Andy?
Yeah, I'm kind of along the same lines as Mitch, especially given what's happened in the past year on MUCI property. I think it's probably prudent and wise for us to tread real lightly with any change to MUCI properties. So I would personally, I'd probably have some hesitation about making a change to include something like this.
Krista?
Yeah, I would agree with, as the others have stated. I mean, it's been a sensitive topic for a while. And
Absolutely.
so to change it now doesn't make sense to me. You know, the current co-provisions are there for reasons, so.
And I agree with the other commissioners, and I will take it to the standard itself, in that if you look at the uses, whether they be permitted or, well, are they all, let me see. Well, they're all, anyway, the permitted uses. This does not match those. It kind of stands out, being very unique and being much more heavily type of, not, I want to use the word industrial, but just doesn't fit with those uses that are currently in here. So for that reason, I would recommend that we do not add this use to this district at this time. Tony, what, do you need any formal action, or do you got, to me, it's
No,
a consensus of this commission that
Yep.
not at this time.
Yeah, I don't
It's not
need
the
a
appropriate use.
I don't need a formal motion.
Okay.
I've got a feel for what the commission.
Okay, then I'm gonna go back then to the previous topic on our agenda, and we've been pretty consistent about, you know, if we don't have a representative to answer our questions, or the residents' questions that may be interested, that we've been delaying them. What is your opinion on the one that we have on our, left on our agenda? It's a final plat.
Well, that has been the commission's recent, process. Both of the plats are fairly, in my mind, fairly straightforward. Albeit the fourth edition does have some bigger things like the extension of pilot knob. Which was part of the original development agreement for that plat. That extension be done as part of their final phase, which this is their final phase. The road way that's proposed meets county and city guidelines. We're working with a consultant on the relocation and repurposing of the streetlights. So that will all be done as part of this overall project as well. Overall, the overall layout meets what the preliminary plat was previously, both the townhomes and the single-family lots. So, but really, it's up to the commission if you feel comfortable
It
or
is,
not.
I agree, I understand that. I just wanted to get your opinion before I ask the commissioners what their druthers are. Again, we did one just a few months ago, or that we just said, you know, we're gonna delay it. What are your thoughts, commission? I'm not looking at anyone specific, but anybody, has anybody got any reason, one way or the other way, we should handle it tonight or set it for our next meeting?
Well, I think consistency is key.
I
You know,
do too.
I think, you know, we've liked the party to be here, you know, the developer, whoever it is, you know, to ask questions.
Yeah.
So I don't see a reason to deviate from what we've done in the past.
I agree. It's hard to pick and choose if you start doing that too.
And that's what, that's gonna be their argument, is picking and choosing on what.
Yeah.
What's the timeline? Like, I mean, do you have idea what their
Well, they
plan
would like
is?
to start construction yet this summer, so.
Because that road is a big question, you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, given the impact to Pilot Knob,
Yeah, are they, do you know, is the road going first? Are they doing that first to get into?
Well, it
the-
would be all part of that overall construction, so they'll do it all in tandem.
That was-
Well, I'm just wondering, even for the purpose of doing the development, like, so are they gonna have Pilot Knob Road done into the development for all the construction vehicles, or? are they
Likely
gonna-
not, no.
Yeah, so these are questions that we could ask the developer, you
Yeah.
know, and which, I mean, that's attached to phase 4, isn't it, if I remember right?
It is correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, and then phase 5 is the townhomes, the
townhomes.
16 townhomes, so, you know,
so,
I'm still, guys, you know, I think we gotta be consistent, I really do. I feel bad because the individual who, Tony, you thought might be here, it had a lot of our meetings.
Yeah, he's been.
He was at the last meeting.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe forgot, or maybe just had something else going on, I don't know.
well, I'll kind of tag on to what Phil was going with there. With the daycare being approved, with all the construction already going on Duchesne, with Spruce being shut down, and if they're gonna start this with Pilot Knob and everything too, that's a whole lot of construction traffic in a pretty small area there
Yeah,
too.
timing. Yeah, it's, you know, the internal parts of it, the VITA, ATTIVA, I'm out there fairly often, but it's the Pilot Knob, it's the Spruce Street, it's everything else, when and timing and all that, so, you know, I'm hearing, Mitch, what are your thoughts?
I agree totally.
Okay, Krista?
I would agree. I just
Okay.
think we need to be
We have a
consistent.
consensus, and, Tony, what kind of motion would you like to do on this? Is it just?
Motion to
hold it-
table.
Okay, is there a motion to table, let me find this one, final plat of VITA ATTIVA at South Creek, 4th and 5th editions to our next regular meeting?
I'll make the motion to
We have a
table.
motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second, call the roll, please.
Snowback.
Yes.
Berg.
Yes.
Windshadow.
Yes.
Teske.
Yes.
Doesn't get to have me vote that time, it's okay.
Dirk doesn't get to vote on that one.
All right, anything else from staff?
I have nothing, sir.
Anything else from the commission?
No.
If not, I'll remind our residents and viewers, our next regular meeting is June 10th, I believe, and with that, I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're officially adjourned, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.